Hello everyone, Voodoo here, and Fyrakk is dead. So in this video, we are going to finish off the, long-awaited video here of boss tips for Havoc with tips for Fyrakk the Blazing on Mythic. Make sure you like the video, comment, and subscribe. We're getting close to 10,000, which is insane. And let's go over a breakdown, so to speak, of the final boss of a Meteor Soul on Mythic. So first things first, we gotta start off with the talent build. So this is the build I played on our kill. This is, generally speaking, one of the better builds. Now, I did end up playing Pitch Black just for more darkness on our prog fight. On reclears, obviously, I will swap back to Flames of Fury because we won't need the extra darknesses. But this is all here mainly for one reason. Ragefire is really good for dealing with the adds. Now, if you want more single target damage in the last phases, you obviously will drop Ragefire, pick up Dancing with Fate, drop Ice with Prey, pick up Furious Gaze. But I think a really good all-around build is just one like this, where you grab Ragefire and then play the normal single target build here, except you drop 1 point in Dancing with Fate for 1 point in Isolated Prey. The reason for this is that Ragefire, very, very good in P2 for those ad sets, like I said, allows a lot of your raid to be single target while you can do some cleave. But by dropping a point here in Dancing with Fate for a point in Isolated Prey, you end up doing a lot more single target damage as well. This is roughly, I think, 1 to 2% above, just straight up swapping this for this, and having the rest of the build as well. Obviously, I'll put it back here. But this build itself is about 1% behind the pure single target build. So there is a bit of a drop off here in terms of single target versus not single target. It doesn't really matter. I don't think either way is that big of a deal. I just went with this for giving more Ragefire value overall. And I end up using Blue Silken Lining. You probably could use Toxic Thornfoot Wraps and be fine. I think both are good. But I ended up using BSL, and I don't think either of them are bad either. So playing this or play the other one, neither are incorrect. All right, so here at the VOD. Now, this is just straight off ripped from my Twitch. I'll link the video and my Twitch in the description. I think it's there anyways. But you can find it there if you want to. Apologies. We gotta make sure the settings are good. Quality is good enough. This is probably the best it's gonna get. But yeah, so we'll just go through it and talk about everything. So on pull here, we actually don't end up lusting. We end up just doing we lust in P2. I'm not using my potion. I'm just doing the normal Havoc opener here. Lusting in P1, I think if you're just starting prog, it can be good. I think it might end up making P3 a lot harder, but it'll help you in learning P1 a little bit. I think personally lusting P1 isn't great because P3 is very important still. You don't want to cut really that much. Like, you cut a lot of time from it, from lusting the boss, because you hard phase at 70% here. So while lusting pull helps you skip a Dream Rend, you skip the second Dream Rend, which I don't really think is that hard anyways. Anyways, yeah, we'll go through it. So start off with the opener. I use my orbs a little bit early here. I-Beam, Hunt, whole thing, Fell Rush through, Essence Break, Flip Back, Death Sweep, and Meta. So here I think I actually do end up getting a Swirly. So we bait the frontals. We kind of try and stack up here to bait the swirlies. I do get one of these. This one ends up not being great. I rush over and the druid also comes over. It fixes itself, which is like fine, but whatever. But really in P1 here, the main idea is just to be as safe as possible. I actually didn't think we were going to kill on this day. So I definitely wasn't greeting that much in terms of our damage in P1. I was being like as safe as possible. I really wasn't trying to risk anything just because, like, why would I? But just, checking around for frontals, making sure you're not in swirlies, making sure you're not out of position. It's going to be very important for keeping early deaths low. So really, really important you don't just die. On that note, I think here is a great place to personal. We're roughly, I think, like 40 seconds into the fight here. If you get a blaze during this point, like, immediately personal. But if not, personal anyways, just because it helps save yourself if you mess up, if you get hit by a blaze, if you get hit by a frontal. Because right after this, he does the Wildfire Slam, which does a big chunk of damage to your HP pool, and he jumps away into Dream Rend. So a lot of damage going out here. I also messed up by using my Immolation Aura. You always want to have one for Essence Break. I goofed a bit, which is like not the end of the world, but it happens sometimes. But here I'm supposed to Darkness, so it's a little bit weird for me. Honestly, I don't think this is a great Darkness. I think it's probably better to not use it here. But I'm using it here just to get a use off. But even doing that, you can still get a full Essence Break combo off during this suck. These sucks, though, are very important. I would be very careful using things like the Hunt or Fellblade during this point. because all these orbs down here instantly kill you. So we're all lined up baiting these orbs, and one at a time we kind of just shift over and use them. Here I get Blaze. Generally with Blaze, my best bet is I just Fel Rush off in the distance. I follow the line of my Blaze so that people don't, you know, I don't just Fel Rush onto people, but just play safe through the Blazes. That's kind of the most dangerous part. And then once you're into this half of the phase, I don't think it's that really that difficult here. We get Firestorms. These aren't that bad. Skip ahead a bit. We get more Frontals. We get Soaks here, which again aren't too bad. Out of these Soaks, you can do an Essence Break combo, which I end up doing all the time. Pretty freely, you know, we end up doing that. And then here is another good spot for Blur, because it's the same thing. It's Frontals and Blazes at the same time into a Wildfire Slam. So if you get hit by a Blaze or a Frontal and then are low going into the Slam, very easy to die. So really good spot for defensive. We all stack up here. Generally, I try and hunt whenever I can here. As we kind of get sucked through, you got to make sure you're turning your character as well to kind of face boss as you go through. I don't think this Blaze is, I mean, this one's not hard to avoid because you're kind of facing it. We do these Blazes. Don't be afraid to potion here. I get hit, but there's nothing else happening. And then we end up phasing a little early here. Generally speaking, you want to phase during the Frontals. So that's P1. I see also I'm holding my I-Beam. I would hold the I-Beam Essence Break combo you get at the end here and just use it on the shield. Much more important than kind of using it on that, like, whatever sliver of boss HP is left. Generally speaking, unless your damage is really, really low. Where am I? Unless your damage is really low, you're not going to phase too far after this point. So using the Essence Break there isn't very valuable, but using it on the shield is very valuable. And you see I'm holding meta as well. We go up, we gateway through, and then the weak cores are going to split us up. I'm on left 1, so I'm going to head over there. I do my Essence Break combo. I delay it a bit so I can get the Essence Break onto the shield just to help push us a bit more. Doesn't really matter if you do shield or the boss, right? I do shield just to push us a bit more. I'm on left 1. So here it's very important, you'll see me doing the next one, that you kind of look behind you and line up where your orb's going to be. So I'm left 1, so I line up with my orb. You don't need a Fel Rush there, I just had inertia proc. But looking behind you, lining up where your orb's going to be, all that stuff, very important. Use your defensives if you get a Blaze. Third set, you generally immune. Havoc might be immune. If you are set to immune that, one of those ones, you just go on the side and kind of run through. Not too big of a deal. But still line up anyways as if you don't have an immune person, so that you can catch any that, you know, go wrong. Here I'm holding meta as well because we're going to lust coming out of this shield here. I get Blaze. I just Nether Walk just to be safe here because there's a lot of damage going out. And when you're on the sides, generally it's a little spookier. But Nether Walk, we kill the boss, all's good, and then he's going to do a pushback. Shouldn't be too hard, you can run against it. Fel Rush if you need to. And then we go into Lust. And here nothing too exciting happens. I do my little combo. I think I goof it a little bit. Yeah, I don't really inertia kind of ever. I like do it here. So I missed the inertia on the Essence Break. Which obviously isn't ideal, but it is what it is. Go through, just dodge Blazes. These Blazes don't really matter because you have meta, you have Lust, so you can generally leech through any damage you do take. And then here's important when you come through to play on whichever side the group of ads spawns from. This is because the next set of spawns for these guys, the tree will spawn over there, and these can like alternate. And it's very important that with your Blazes, you don't hit any of these things, because if you hit them, they're going to turn into the bad ads, and that'll basically just kill you. But by playing on the side with these 5 ads, it's much easier to dodge the tree with your Blazes than it is to dodge all 5 of these little guys with the Blazes. So you can see here that they're going to come up, I think in about 2 seconds here. We get Blazes. During these Blazes, I just fuck off. Like, it's way better to be safe here. Great defensive spot. I don't think I have my defensive because we didn't get them back with symbols. Great place to defensive here. And you can see here, there should be some spirits spawning as well during it. Yeah, so you can see over there, way in the distance, there's like spirits, and we're nowhere near them, so we're good. These guys come down, immediately start targeting the Colossus. The red one needs to die. Then line yourself up kind of in between the X and the square, because this is where the cages come out. So I'm assigned to break the cages. What you want to do with shadow cages is if you get the shadow, you move immediately to one of the markers, and then the breakers want to wait until the shadow things disappear. You'll see these little tiny things pop up. You have about 4 seconds or 2 seconds to get in spot and break them out. You don't really do any damage by being in those things, in being in the little tiny shadow flame swirls on the ground. That's just an indication about where you go to break them out. So you need to be doing this. If you mess that up, it's going to screw you over the whole thing. You'll never kill a boss. Then we go into the reason why Havoc's good in this fight. So we bring these two ads over. I'm in charge of kicking this one ad. I get the kickoff, and then we just do our damage rotation, do an I-beam into a hunt, and then we just do essence break and death sweep, and you're just, you know, rage firing all these little ads. These won't go off because the fire ad's dead, so ignore that if you end up killing one of the ads. Just stun, interrupt, all these things do a lot of damage. This is a great darkness spot because you have the damage from the ads going off, damage from the boss coming down. Great spot for darkness, which is, you know, generally where mine is. We're just killing the ads and all that stuff. And then it kind of just repeats. There's just blazes, just watch out for the ads, all that stuff. And then you end up going into the next kind of blaze slash firestorm set. And again, here, just play safe. Make sure you're not hitting an ad over here. Make sure you're not hitting other people. Don't get hit by a swirly, and just live those. Those are probably the most dangerous part of the phase, aside from the cages. Infernals come down, again, just start nuking the red one. Line up for cages again. I get the shadow cage, so I go immediately to the spot. They all line up. We're both stacked here, so the guy can come in and break us out. They just make it. Try and be centered, but you can end up getting there fast, because if you're late, you're going to kill somebody. And then we're just doing the same thing. So this is a set where I end up metaing. Depending on where you are in Prague, using your first meta, or your second meta on boss, and then holding for here is good. Or using your first meta on shield and then holding for this ad set as well is also good. When you're going to kill it, I don't think you need it on shield, but it's fine to use it there as well, instead of just using it here on these ads or on the boss, I guess. So I kick them, get them all in. We do a little rotation here. My essence break is really desynced here because I messed up earlier in the fight. So I just end up sending death sweep just to get damage off, because I wanted to skip this set, and we do end up skipping it. Obviously on future kills, I wouldn't do that, but I just did that so that we can push the mechanic, which is obviously more important, right? If you're trying to kill the boss, you don't really care about being as optimal as possible. Doing some subpar things you just get through is important. And then, you know, you're just kind of doing more blazes and just dodging everything, and you get into P3. So this P3, what is that banging sound? I don't know if you guys stopped. What was that? I don't know if you guys heard that or not. There's just this banging. Anyways, P3 is pretty easy compared to everything else. Nothing too specific for Havoc, really. So I'm not a seed carrier. At this point in time, there's only 4 seeds that come out ever. And then after you use the first one, you'll have like 3. So we end up double using 2 seeds in the first set, and then we have 1 and 1. And we just have the people who were carrying the good seeds pick up the bad seeds, except the tanks grab the first bad seed. So it'll be tanks grab first bad seed, and then the first 2 people who use the good seeds pick up the second bad seed, and then the third person who used the good seed picks up the third, and so on. And that way it's just a lot easier to end up dealing with, because then you only have like 4 people, 6 people to deal with learning seeds instead of like a ton of other different people. So here it's just important to dodge throws in the ground and just move properly. So we start off near purple. Most important thing here is just don't be an idiot. All right, you're just playing safe and living. That's really the only important thing. Dodging blazes, not hitting your seed carriers with any mechanics. I kind of hedge out a little bit here in case these swirlies come out, because you have to get those out so the seed carriers don't get hit by tornadoes. But realistically in this phase for a Havoc, there's nothing too specific for you specifically to do. So I do my rotations and everything properly, or whatever. Just dodging blazes, everything like that. The one thing that's interesting is that I ended up actually holding this next meta. See here, I have meta coming up in 20 seconds, so we do the seed soak and we just go to the other side after. Not too crazy. But I have meta coming up in 15, and I have my potion coming up in like a minute. So I end up holding this meta to pair with the next potion, because I know we'll go long enough. So I think that's a good thing to do, generally speaking. When you end up using your meta in the way I did, right? You use 1 on the boss, 1 on those ads, and then you just kind of hold for your next potion. You don't lose a usage, to my knowledge. You might end up losing a usage, but I do think using it with potion here on P3 is a pretty valuable use. But yeah, I mean, this stage is really not too much for me to talk about. You're just dodging swirlies and not doing anything special. So potion comes up in 15. We go here, we gate out. I should darkness here. I didn't. My bad. We darkness out, we pull the boss forward, And then at this point in time, the boss kind of just ends up falling over. And none of us were really expecting to kill it here. He just kind of died. So really goes to show you how kind of easy P3 is now, especially with how low the HP was for us going into it. You're just dodging frontals. So here I end up using my second whatever, my meta, my potion, use everything like that, do my whole meta reset. Whatever. It's a good spot for it. Not a lot of mechanics happening. You can even eat one of those things and be fine. I just stand still so that no one's seed gets hit, and then we just end up killing the boss. There's nothing else really too exciting about this. I'll skip forward a bit here. We do start losing people as the boss dies, which is always fun. I hunt in, and then a seed blows up, and our tank just lives, and the boss dies with everybody dead, which is always a fun time. So our tank like just lives, and because the tank like just lives, I think our H priest spirit existing and all the cheat death people allow bosses ticking to come out. And then, you know, I pop off a little bit. But yeah, so that's kind of the fight. Nothing too crazy. A lot of it in P1 is just playing safe, right? Not being an idiot, just making sure you're clear of blazes, looking around for the frontals so you don't get hit there. Not too hard to use your essence break basically on cooldown in P1 until the last one, which you hold for the shield. And then meta, generally I think metaing pull, lust if you're lusting P2, and then second ad set, and then with potion is a good lust timing. Then like a 9-minute fight, so you only get 4 lusts, 4 metas anyways, I'm pretty sure, off those numbers. So you won't end up losing a usage if you hold a little bit, which is good. But yeah, I mean, not a ton to say specifically about Havoc here because we don't end up carrying seeds anymore, or at least I didn't. But just play safe, play smart, use blur pretty often. When you soak stuff, if you have Blade Dance coming up, it's generally a good idea to use the shield there. And just good luck killing the boss, I guess. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. I'll drop a link to the talent build, but that's Fyrakk. Pretty good fight. I'll link the whole kill VOD down below if you want to see it. Obviously, I wasn't playing perfect at all. I parsed, I think, like a 91 or something like that, which was good, but I could have been better watching back. Obviously, I've noticed some mistakes and some mechanics and stuff like that, but 91's fun. It'll get better as we go through, especially since I don't have a brand. I had a 43 hourglass, which is always fun. But yeah, pretty good boss. Expect some more content with me next week. I'll be doing my first re-clear, I think Wednesday, so it'll be fun. And yeah, like the video, comment, subscribe, get us to 10,000. Thanks for watching. Have any comments, drop them below. See you guys later. Peace. A big thank you to all my channel members. Thank you Sky Elk, Fede Gregori, Andrew Kino, Guillermo Lamas, Period, Brad Wisniak, It's Bulk, Magic Man 133, and Howley. Thank you all so much. You guys are amazing, and I really appreciate the extra support. If you guys want to support me, consider becoming a channel member below. You get access to exclusive videos and some emotes to use in comments and stuff, as well as a special part of my Discord. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate it, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.